Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Cluiche with me, Seamus Brady, our host, and for this one I am joined by Matthew Hurley, the Gaelic Statsman, and this is the live reaction to Kerry versus Tyrone in the All-Ireland Football Quarterfinals of 2023. Matthew, what a game this is going to be. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, as much as ever, Seamus, and thanks for having me on your live stream. Yeah, it's a big game. It's really well anticipated, and even looking at the record between these two sides, it's literally evenly matched. Four wins, four wins. Tyrone, you might have argued Tyrone have the better record over Kerry, but in the last four meetings, Kerry have won it 3 times. So this is a chance for Tyrone to win their second game in a row. And it's not beyond the realms of possibility Tyrone could do this, Seamus. We both predicted it during the week, so you never know.
Yeah, I just have a sneaky feeling. It's like one of those things that they're still alive. And if you look back in the past, Tyrone have a habit of staying alive and then coming to life on the big day. Now, it's funny because in the end of the 2000s, Tyrone and Kerry won All Irelands in back-to-back years in almost identical fashion. And this is kind of painful as a Dublin fan, but they both got knocked out of their province. They both went through the back door, nearly got beaten in the qualifiers. Then they both got Dublin in the All-Ireland quarterfinals. Both were tipped to lose heavily. Both of them hammered Dublin and then went on to win the All-Ireland that year. So both of them kind of have a history of getting to the final 8 in not a particularly impressive fashion and then exploding into life when the business end of the year comes around.
Exactly. So, and it's actually amazing when you look at four sides in general in the quarters. Mayo, Dublin, Tyrone, and Kerry have all been drawn against each other, and it's an opportunity maybe for Armagh, Monaghan, Derry, and Cork to get a semi-final appearance. Like you'll be more inclined to see the four of those sides, the aforementioned sides that I mentioned, dare to be in a semi-final in 1 year. Like I think it was yearly at that point. I think 2015, 2013, around the time periods, 2017 as well. It was them four counties, but two of them will be knocked out this weekend. And what's even more mad or Seamus actually is if Kerry lose today, Cork will be in the championship longer than Kerry. I just wanted to fit that in to the live stream here. So I'd say every Cork fan will be up for Tyrone today, but you never know. Like, it's going to be a very intriguing game. Intriguing weekend. Like, Armagh Monaghan even later is going to be a very interesting game too.
Oh, that would be a cracker as well. I think it's one of those things where when you look at it, you're like, just everything's teed up in this game. And guys, if you're watching this live stream at any point, you have any comments, you have any suggestions, any things you'd like myself and Matthew to discuss during the game, throw them in the comments and we will discuss about them. But Matthew, I think it's time that we look at the teams and discuss the starting team. So these were the named teams. Now, late changes, they're obviously going to happen. Let's start with looking at Tyrone's team. So obviously on Tyrone's team here, if we get it up, we have, of course, Niall Morgan in goal, Michael McKernan, Ronan McNamee, and Paddy Hampsey full back line, Cormac Quinn, Michael O'Neill, Peter Hart half back line, Brian Kennedy, Con Kilpatrick midfield, Conor Myler, Rory Canavan, Kieran McGeary half forward line, Darren McCurry, Matty Donnelly, and Dara Canavan in the full forward line. So looking at that team, what immediately jumps out to you from that team?
Well, to be honest, when you look at the bench, Conor McShane, number 23. Remember the last time he came off the bench against Kerry? Got that goal. So that's going to be very, very interesting. Rory Canavan at centre forward, obviously the double Canavan act, 1-6 from 1-5 from play, 1-6 overall, combined between the two of them last against Donegal. They will be up for this game. And the midfield, you said it so often, Seamus, Brian Kennedy and Con Kilpatrick. This is an opportunity to get ahead of this Kerry midfield. And what I was talking to Aaron during the week on my preview about was Tyrone's man markers. You look at McNamee, McKiernan, Hampsey. You could even drop Conor Myler back there. Cormac Quinn's been excellent this season. And I think they have better man markers than Kerry. So it's going to be very interesting to see who picks up who in this. Like, who's going to pick up Clifford? You'd imagine Hampsey will. We'll have to see once the ball's thrown in now. McNamee, maybe, like, who's going to pick up Paddy Clifford? McKiernan usually annoys players. Maybe he pick up Paddy Clifford at this game. Sean O'Shea, maybe Ronan McNamee goes on him. So we'll have to see what plays out in this. But yeah, very interesting Tyrone team.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, the ones I'm looking at straight away, Morgan is crucial. Now Morgan will be really important because Morgan has a boomer in him. Like, Morgan is capable of absolutely belting the ball into midfield to Brian Kennedy and Con Kilpatrick. They're crucial because they can give Tyrone a foothold in this game. I think they're a stronger midfield partnership than Diarmuid O'Connor and Jack Barry. I think that they can give Tyrone a platform to go on and win this game. You also look in the defence. Hampsey as well is going to have has to have one of the games of his life to quell David Clifford. He will be the one put on him, in my opinion. I don't think it will be Ronan McNamee. I think McKernan will be put onto Paddy Clifford. I think you're right with that one. I also wouldn't be surprised, though, if we see some late changes. I wouldn't be surprised if Frank Burns starts. He's very much a utility player that Tyrone kind of tend to position all around the pitch. He's on the bench there. And yeah, I'm expecting Cathal McShane to feature as well in this game. They got nothing to lose. Bring McShane in, give him a run out because he can really shake up the game. He did it 2 years ago when they won the All-Ireland. Another one, obviously, Darragh Canavan. Before we move on, Darragh Canavan's form going into this game. Do you think he'll get the Tom O'Sullivan treatment, or who do you think he'll be picked up by?
Well, it depends. I was discussing this with Aaron during the week as well. Other than Tom O'Sullivan, Kerry don't have much man markers in the team. Jason Foley hasn't done well this season. Tyke Morley, Graham O'Sullivan, Paul Murphy and Gavin White aren't necessarily man markers. My argument, I know Darragh Canavan's an outstanding player, but if Darragh Canavan's quiet, then Darren McCurry will step up. Then Matty Donnelly will step up. This is Rory Canavan, of course, as well, his brother. So this is the key thing for Kerry. They need to get the matchups back. They need to get Jason Foley match fit ready. Same as Paul Murphy, same as Graham O'Sullivan to go on and win this game. And before I move on to you, Seamus, actually Adam Moynihan announced on Twitter no late changes on either side. So bit of a change there.
Yeah, I mean, usually every team goes the other way and starts making a gazillion changes before the start of the game. But we will move on from the Tyrone team. We'll move on to Kerry's starting team, which if it would be so kind to pop up there. So obviously Shane Ryan in goal, Graham O'Sullivan, Jason Foley, Tom O'Sullivan full-back line, Paul Murphy, Tyke Morley and Gavin White half-back line, Diarmuid O'Connor, Jack Barry midfield, Darragh Moynihan, Shawnee O'Shea, Adrian Spillane half-forward line, Paddy Clifford, David Clifford and Paul Gainey in the full forward line. Thoughts?
Yeah, it's an interesting team, all right. The defence, I'd be seriously worried about the Kerry defence, as I mentioned there. Man markers, midfield as well. Diarmuid O'Connor and Jack Barry have to have a huge game today because we know Brian Kennedy and Con Kilpatrick have the temperament to get over them in fairness. It will all go through the forwards, to be honest with you. Clifford, 5 goals, 25 points in the championship so far. He's the second top scorer, both overall and for playing the championship so far this season. Only McGuigan's ahead of him overall and Conor O'Halloran for play. So Clifford is obviously going to be vital. Paddy's brother as well. Paul Gainey coming back to the team. Big call from Jack O'Connor to leave out Tony Brosnan and to bring in Paul Gainey. We'll see how this progresses. Adrian Spillane, I'd say he's a big part player, but would he frighten the Tyrone team? I'm not sure he will. So it's an interesting pick there too. So yeah, I think the forwards,
he's purely brought in my opinion, just to go toe to toe with Kilpatrick and Kennedy. I think there's no two ways about it. He's brought in to give them some extra muscle around the midfield because they're really going to face a tough task against that Tyrone midfield.
They are definitely Tyrone's midfield basic harder to the All-Ireland in 2021. So Kerry will have to be up there with them. Diarmuid O'Connor, I think, is a good enough midfielder, but Jack Barry is kind of questionable at this level, this intensity. He's okay in Munster, but he's very, very questionable at this level indeed. So maybe Adrian Spillane goes in as a third midfielder, possibly. But then Tyrone have extra defenders above the Kerry attackers. So yeah, it's going to be a big, big call for Jack O'Connor. Actually, Seamus, what do you think of Paul Gainey above Tony Brosnan?
I think probably the right decision, in my opinion. Look, definitely difficult decision, but in my opinion, probably the right decision. I think Gainey has been there, done that, got the t-shirt. He's proven himself in the big games. Brosnan's yet to make that breakthrough for me, in my opinion, on the big, big day. So I think he's a great sub to have there off the bench, but I would probably go with Gainey just about above him. I don't know. What would you think?
Yeah, I think Tony Brosnan's the better player, but Paul Gainey's better for experience at this level. There's games where Tony Brosnan ghosts, in my opinion. I think he's a very, very technically good player. But yeah, Paul Gainey, maybe it is the right decision, just for a bit of experience, as the game's about to be thrown in now. So yeah,
game's about to start. Here we go. What are we thinking? I'm saying Tyrone by 2.
I'm going to say I'm going to go Tyrone by a point or two as well.
Good stuff. Well, we are about to get underway. The ball has been thrown in. Kerry versus Tyrone, live from Croke Park. This is the live reaction with myself, Seamus Brady, and Matthew Hurley, the Gaelic stats man. Straight away, early one in there. Morgan did well there.
He did, yeah.
Morgan
Did very well
there.
and commanding his box, definitely. But Kerry showing their intent. I know it's Conor Boyner on the ball
there. Okay. I'll be very interested to see how Rory Canavan gets on in this game as well. Like, you're talking about how much like pressure is on him when you talk about the under-20 final last year and the performances he was giving in the 20 championship to come into this Tyrone side. And he hasn't really played. I know he's like starting this game centre forward, but have you been surprised with that they didn't start him from the start of the year?
Well, he's a young player, Seamus, so you have to take that into account as well. Like, he's a very, very good player, no doubt about it, but maybe there's question marks about his experience.
David
Clifford with a wide there in the first minute. So, yeah, very unusual.
We have our first comment in here. Show the game there, lads. Unfortunately, we can't be doing that, or you would get copyright struck to a high heaven.
No, lads, don't want to go to court. That's the last thing we want. But yeah, I'd say we'll be better commentators than Dave McIntyre anyway, Seamus. So at least there's that. Who's on RT Radio today? I wonder. Is it Darren Maloney?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure. I think this commentator used to do the TV3 commentary back in the day, didn't he?
Yeah, he was in Sky as well, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah. He's the alternate. Is RT that never seemed to go near him, but
Darren Moynihan did well there.
Cormac Quinn. Yeah. Oh, Morley,
sorry.
Laying down his shoulder. 2 minutes gone, still no score. What have you made of the start? I think it's been a bit cagey at the start, apart from the early Kerry chance.
Yeah, like Kerry seemed more intent, to be honest with you. Like Clifford missed a chance as well, let's not forget, and that ball bouncing into Niall Mark. Like Tyrone seemed to be running into the tackle, which won't suit well going into the last few minutes, definitely. But Kerry.
The only thing that I will say that is so different in this game from the 2021 game, two things. David Clifford might actually play the full game this time. Like, he did go off injured in the 2021 semi-final in extra time, wasn't it? So, like, how big an impact did that play? And on top of that, when that happened, Kerry hadn't got the donkey off their back. They hadn't won the All-Ireland. Now they have. Do they carry that champion's confidence into this game? They're passing it around there now.
Yeah. Like, they're getting thrown out of position, definitely. Yeah,
Conor Myler is on Paddy Clifford, so you were spot on there with your prediction of Myler being Myler's on him there. Shane Ryan has come miles out there, but Myler on Paddy Clifford. Do you know what? It makes sense.
Yeah, it does. To be honest, I wonder who's on Clifford. I'm trying to look now. Is it Hampsey? As we all agree,
Hampsey's on him there now.
Yeah. But yeah, Kerry are passing the boat. They've passed the boat for more than a minute now, since they got the free down the other end near the D. So
I'd love to see a form of a shot clock brought in. Here's Adrian.
Yeah, I would as well. Like, remember Ross Common last week?
Unfortunately not, Danny. Sorry, we can't. Yeah, so we're gonna show the game. It's GA Go. We can't be showing something for free that someone else is putting on at a price. Here's Adrian's plan. He's on Kilpatrick there.
Over the bar. Good shot for Paul Gainey.
I think my thing buffered by like 10 seconds. Noah score is coming now. Yeah, Gainey. Very nice.
What I would say about GA Go's coverage as well, Seamus, is I like the fact that they do the replays at one screen and then they have the live match on the other screen as well. I actually like that.
That is very good.
Have to take something out of this.
Oh, this is what I mean. Like, they should use it as like kind of a testing ground for their own coverage. They make their own coverage way better if they implemented some of these ideas, in my opinion. I mean, there, like, did you know the way changing the banner there below the Clare hurling match? I was literally changing the banner every 5 seconds, particularly in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Watching Dublin concede four goals in the last 10 minutes was just like, what is going on? All right, here's McCurry. He's got Jason Foley on him. I think that would be very interesting. So Thomas Sullivan is on Derek Hannivan.
And who's on McCurry? Is it
McCurry
Foley?
is Jason Foley.
Big test for Foley.
Over the bar. Good score. Michael McKernan.
Yeah. And I think they've lost the kick out there, Kerry. So this is what I mean. Like Tyrone's midfield seems to be getting the upper hand already. I think that's the second kick out of the day, third kick out of the day, and Tyrone have won all three. So telling you, Kerry's midfield is not that good.
Get some abuse for saying that Tyrone have the best midfield in the country. And look, someone said the Conor Glass, Brendan Rodgers pairing. And I'm like, that's absolutely on the money as well. Conor Glass, Brendan Rodgers, you could argue as well as the best. They're all great. Can you just agree on that? Like Killian McDade and Paul Conroy from Galway is a savage midfield pairing as well.
Would you argue Colm O'Callaghan and Ian Maguire up there? Or can they get in there?
That's a fantastic midfield pairing. That's one of the reasons why Cork have, in my opinion, turned around their fortune so much this season, because they've got now such a strong midfield pairing.
It's been
and me and Luke were a real advocate for Brian Hayes going to the football. We were saying Hayes, and then O'Callaghan's just filled that gap.
Yeah, he has a huge,
really good level.
I remember him under 20s, bit of a skinny lad, but geez, he's bulking up now.
Whatever he's eating is working. All right, here's Kerry now. They're ponderous enough in their attacks. Like at the start, I know every team is like that now. Both teams are quite happy to pass the ball around. Switch the play a lot. Gavin White's pace is a game changer. He's able to just break the line so easy.
Yeah, Adrian Spillane just got a point there, and I was criticizing before the game even begun. So sorry, Adrian.
Adrian Spillane. Yeah, I think you're 10 seconds ahead of me or something. We have a comment in here from Owen. Crazy how our national sports, which get a huge amount of funding from the government, don't pay the players and rake in millions in ticket sales, have 2 games on pay-per-view for €12 each. Thoughts on that?
Maybe so, yeah. To be honest, I think all the games should be free to air, in fairness, in the All-Ireland quarterfinal. But you made a very good point during the week that all the quarterfinals haven't been on RT since 2010. 2011, TV3 hosted one. Sky hosted over the past few seasons. So it's not really a shock. But at the same time, I'd rather being shown free to air. But as I said during the stream, I think GAAGO's coverage is better than RT's.
I really like it. I really like GAAGO's coverage.
I have to say,
when they were getting so much slack during that whole debate, I was very much on the side of these are the games that Sky would have been showing last year. And it wasn't anywhere near as much outrage.
I actually don't get the difference between Sky and GAAGO. Sky was nearly more of a nuisance, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Is GAAGO cheaper, surely?
I think GAAGO is cheaper.
I'm speaking waffle now. I haven't done any research on that, but
the thing is, if you get the early bird deal, which I got at the start of the before 2023 began, it's €59 per year. That's a good price, Seamus.
That's good, yeah. Here's Morgan. I think you're 10 seconds ahead of me. I think my stream buffered. So I think when you said the Spillane point, then that was it. So Denise says, I wouldn't complain about paying my GAAGO subscription if the players receive some funds. That's a good point. If that went towards covering the cost of the players, then that definitely would be something. Morgan's after putting a free wide there. That was definitely within his range. So, I mean,
just one thing, Seamus, about the buffering and stuff like that. If you press live, then you'd be up to date. I don't know if that would work. But...
Okay, yeah, wait, I hit live there. Okay, I think we're on the same level now. Is McGeary holding the ball for you?
He is, yeah,
Just
yeah.
there you go.
12,
There
yeah.
you go. Right,
Yeah.
we're back. We're back. There you go. On again. Agree. The coverage is better, but at least with Sky, every second person has Sky. That I know. And
I didn't
most
have
local
Sky.
clubs do too. The thing is, lots of casual fans won't watch them on an Armagh game for €12. Yeah, true. So
Maybe.
less eyes on the championship. Yeah, I mean, in terms of like, it would be probably better for them if they had, a free to air. If you're talking pure eyeballs on the sport, there's no doubt about it, in my opinion. Free to air games bring in more views. Here's a shot for Kerry. That's a great score. That's a great score. Shawnee O'Shea.
I think you're ahead of me, no, Seamus. Sean O'Shea is, yeah.
That was a great score. Came in at
But I have
pace.
to say, Kerry's turnovers and defence have been impressive so far. Like Jason Foley gave down the other end for O'Shea's score there. I think he's had a good game while we were criticising him.
Guys, we can't show the match. we can't show the
Aaron,
match.
you're so close to getting Seamus a course net or something.
Yeah, literally. We can't. It's a live reaction. Brian Kennedy for Tyrone. Peter Hart. Oh, well defended by Kerry there.
Again? Jeez, like
Yeah,
Kerry, you're
12 minutes gone. The transition is really, really good. Gavin White is so important to their transition.
I think that was Foley again. I think he's had a stormer of games so far.
And they're about to go 3 points up.
Came the mark.
They're about to go 3 points up here. David's not missing this.
No.
Nice and easy.
He did miss one at the start, but he's not. No. He's surely
not missing that. He's not missing that.
And yeah, he's got
Here we have, if Mayo had Oisin Mullen and Lee Keegan this year, would they be championship favourites? Very good point. I feel like they would elevate for me. They would be more likely to win the All-Ireland for me, especially they look, don't get me wrong, they have found new talent at the back there in terms of like David McBrien, Sam Callanan. But in my opinion, like Keegan and Oisin Mullen, just different quality of player.
They are,
Denise says, I'm watching the match, but I'm using you as my commentators. Thank you very much, Denise. Matthew, we have a job to do. So remember you said at the start we are better than the commentators. We better be. Denise is putting her trust in us.
Yeah.
Through the middle now. Here comes Tyrone. Oh, another turnover. Oh, that looked harsh. I thought they actually tackled that well.
Sean O'Shea back there. Oh, free.
I know.
Yeah. Oh.
Brian Kennedy's huge. Like, you may actually see him standing beside other lads. Like, he's massive. So this has to go over, in my opinion, from Darren McCurry. Like, this is a very important kick because they've started poorly.
Yeah.
Proper strong wind against them. Got it.
Geez, there's not to be no wind in Croke Park, James.
What?
It's not to be no wind in Croke Park. Like, it's a quite closed venue.
Yeah.
And he's got that, McCurry.
Were you surprised that Paul Murphy started, actually?
Not really, because, again, not gaining a bit experience. I just don't think there's better defenders than Paul Murphy. My issue with Tony Brosnan, I think Brosnan's a better player than Gainey at this moment in time. But I could see why, you explained it earlier on, and I could see why Jack O'Connor picked Gainey instead of Brosnan. But I can definitely see why he picked Murphy. He's obviously he was joined. Was he? He was captain of the Kerry team 1 year. I think
He was. Yeah.
So he does have that experience, and Kerry.
He's a class player. I didn't understand there was a little period where he wasn't starting for Kerry. I think, did he start in last year's All-Ireland final?
Jeez, I don't think he did.
I don't think he did. I think Brino Buglik started right half back, and I think Graham O'Sullivan was right corner. That's a great shot. Wait till you see this.
Oh, I'm seeing it now, I think. Oh, wow.
What a score from Tom O'Sullivan.
Tom O'Sullivan, man.
5-2.
What a score that is.
Would you take this Tom O'Sullivan or the OG Tom O'Sullivan?
Oh.
That's a serious question.
Yeah. The OG, it has to be.
The OG one.
And Kerry won another turnover here.
Oh. Well done.
Oh, Tyrone won back. Jeez.
Rory Canavan. He did really, really well there because the defender came across him, nearly took the ball off and maintained his composure, slotted it over. And do you know what? Like, because let's be honest, right? In the first 16 minutes, Kerry have been the better team. Tyrone are 2 points behind. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Tyrone, they're hanging in. They're like, they're sticky out, you know?
That's one metric I'll always look at when I'm trying to predict a game. I'll always look at who is working harder to stay in the game. Who is working harder to get their scores. I'm not saying the Kerry are going to lose. I'm not saying that. But, for example, when we were playing against Clare in the hurling, we were working so hard for every single score we were getting, whereas Clare were just tapping it over the bar, you know, with ease. And then when they actually put the effort in that we were putting in, they scored, 3-2 in 5 minutes before halftime.
Yeah.
Sean O'Shea. Michael McKernan's on Sean O'Shea. That's some matchup.
Yeah, it is.
It's a brilliant matchup. Like, just in general, these two teams, it's a brilliant matchup.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think there's any significance to the 2021 game in this game here?
I think Kerry have got the All-Ireland monkey off their back. So I don't think there is really, if you know what I mean, if that makes sense. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be that way for Kerry so far. I think Kerry have been the better team over Tyrone, and they have another shot here. And that's gone wide.
Wide from
Tom O'Sullivan. It doesn't strike twice, unfortunately.
Morgan goes long there. Oh, McGeary, man. Jesus. What? Should have scored that.
Oh, my God. Four. Yeah.
He is way better than that. Like, you think that's Footballer of the Year 2021, that he's just missed a very easy chance from the 21.
Yeah. Let's be honest though, Seamus, I don't think he's been the same player since.
No, he hasn't been. He hasn't been the same player since. I think part of it, like, he was fantastic that year, but he was a very, very good player in that Tyrone team. And I remember that year being really hard to pick a Footballer of the Year. Do you remember that? Because Tyrone were 15 outstanding players, but they didn't have that one beacon like how Kerry had David Clifford last year, for example. It was so obvious that David was the man. Like that type. Yeah. Tyrone didn't have that in their year. They had 15 very good players. That's why, like, Footballer of the Year was options. I think was Kieran McGeary, Peter Hart was another one. I remember. Was Myler up for it as well?
Myler was up for it. I think it was Myler, McGeary, and Oshie Mullen, I think it was.
I think Mullen was up for Young Footballer of the Year. I want to say... I actually don't know who the other one was, but I remember, like, Myler and McGeary were up for it, and they played pretty much the same role.
Yeah.
That is a boomer. Wait till you see this. Dara Canavan.
Oh, I think I see it now. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, that is a peach of a score. And to think, like, he's been kept quiet now pretty much the entire 20 minutes, and he gets one sniff and he pings it over.
Yeah, exactly. Like, similar.
David
similar
fired one into the clouds there.
Thing is, similar shots.
In him.
Oh.
Hamsey's letting him know about it.
See now?
Well, Hamsey was letting him know about that one. He missed that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is good. It's really kicked off now.
But that's what I mean. Like a lot of people were saying, like Kerry's defense does look all right at the start
So
here. They definitely look
yeah,
like they've gone more defensive than they have in their previous championship games. But
yeah.
their defense looked very open against Mayo.
I can't believe there's 20 minutes gone in this. Time's flown. Oh, Toronto.
Woo!
Oh, it's a foul.
Rory Canavan.
No, it's not.
Level. And everybody said that Kerry were going to slap up Tyrone. Not a chance.
Oh, wow.
Deadly
Oh,
score. We're commenting here from Owen.
sent your man to a hot
Predictions.
dog there. What
Predictions
a
for Dublin.
finish.
What a score.
Oh, wow. Oh, what a finish that is.
Does you have a comment in here from Owen? He says predictions for Dublin Mayo. If anyone is looking for tickets tomorrow, some super values have them left. I was in Wexford at the weekend and got Tree Hill tickets sold out on Ticketmaster. What are you thinking, Dublin Mayo? You went for Mayo, didn't you?
Yeah, I went for Mayo. I
I
just
could
think Mayo.
definitely see Mayo winning. I went for Dublin off the fact that I think Dublin will adopt a very similar defensive system than Louth, Cork, and Roscommon. They'll try frustrate them. But I wouldn't be surprised if Mayo take it. They have a savage team. Like I saw the team announcement. Pádraig O'Hara back in. Tommy Conroy starting. Conroy's a problem. Like a serious problem.
Yeah.
Even
Definitely.
Stevens. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Kerry have just fired into the lead.
Yeah.
Lovely score. Paddy Clifford this time.
Paddy Clifford over there. But the thing is, Kerry have had, better the exchanges so far, and they're only a point in front.
That's it. Jack Barry's just got a yellow there. This is the thing. Like we were talking about this. Has Jack O'Connor beaten Kerry? No, beaten Tyrone. Sorry, I don't think he has. Like in championship,
2012, yeah, 2012, he has. Yeah.
Oh, Jack O'Connor. Oh, yeah.
But I will say this, Kerry fans. That was in Killarney.
That was in Killarney, and let's be honest, that was a Tyrone team that was washed. They were over the hill at that point.
Yeah. Remember that Galvin had the game that he's like that night. Remember that? It was around 2-12, I think it was. But
they were wheeling out the 05 lads on wheelchairs. They were saying, please just let us retire. But no, in terms of no disrespect, that was a great victory, but it wasn't against the peak Tyrone. And that's why I think the 2015, 2019 ones actually would have meant more, potentially.
Maybe, yeah.
Or they were more impressive. I think beating Tyrone for the first time after the All-Ireland final defeats meant a lot. But I think, in my opinion, based off opponents and the level that they're at, I think it was more impressive to beat them in 2019. Denise says, I don't think Jack Carney will start. He injured his shoulder against Galway. I haven't heard much about the injury. Matthew, did you hear anything about Jack Carney's potential injury there?
No, I didn't see any injury against Galway either. So if he's out, that's a bit of shock, really.
Again, he's put one wide there. I think the biggest thing I was impressed with Mayo's team is, again, time and time again, they lose players, but just find players, just constantly. Like every year they've found somebody. Oh, that's deadly. GA go have a little a timeline there, the first half.
Yeah, I think they've done that before. They've yeah.
The thing that's mad is they've so many little cool things that they do that RTE's coverage don't. Yet,
and that's why our Seamus, you get what you paid for.
Yeah.
So, I have no complaints with GA Go, definitely. But
no, neither do I.
Driving up
comes around here, coming forward. Shot, Maddie Donnelly. Off the post. Ooh. Jack Barry calm. Very calm there. You got Brian Kennedy standing behind you.
Oh, wow.
Very lucky.
Yeah. Jeez, but he had to react well, the Kerry defender there. So well done to him.
Like you see, I thought he held his nerve very well there.
Yeah, he did.
Another point, Matthew, I actually wanted to ask you about is, did you see the Kerry Cavan LGFA match when they came out wearing the tops?
I did, yeah. I think, they did the right thing. They did the same in Cork.
Absolutely did the right thing. Absolutely did the right thing. Yeah, a lot of people are coming out. This is like, I did a video talking about the sit down protests, and I was basically saying I'm frustrated when I hear comments from people saying, "Oh, it's not the right time to do it. It's during the championship, so they should be focused on the football and all this." It's like, do you know what the point of a protest is? The point of a protest is to make people uncomfortable so that they make changes. The people that can make changes. So I'm absolutely saying they should keep going with the protest until, they achieve their goals.
Definitely so, yeah. And what I get comments about Libby Coppinger, playing duel and the duel clashes and all that, they're saying simple solution, drop one sport. And I'm like, both, they want to play both. They want to prove they want to play both. So what kind of confidence will that prove for them?
And when you're talking about, and I don't care saying this, it is a gender issue, because Kilmacud Crokes, in the club championship, they won the Dublin football and the Dublin hurling. Kilmacud Crokes only had one fella who played for the footballers and the hurlers, Brian Sheehy. And they switched the fixtures so that Brian Sheehy wouldn't be playing on the same weekend. It's not even not even a day. Like, they literally changed the whole calendar so that he wouldn't have to play 2 games in a short period of time. It's because they're 2 different organizations and they don't care about the other one. So they're saying, well, we want to play on the Saturday, so we're going to play on the Saturday. And that's, they're not putting the players, they're saying, well, you should be playing our game, so we're going to play on Saturday.
Yeah, that's the thing. In fairness, like even the players are just asking for a day, not even a week or anything like that. They're just not getting it.
Literally.
I mean, it's poor form. It really is poor form.
He's got Paul Murphy on him, actually. That's an interesting matchup. Rory Canavan fouled. This should be a score for Darren McCurry, which would tie it up.
Jeez, yeah. Said tight encounter this, but I wanted to put this forward to you, Seamus. Actually, start 11 shots from Kerry, 6 only taken, 54%. And I think Clifford has missed 3 chances so far.
Very interesting.
He's not on it today for some reason. He might turn it on in the second half. I'll be careful what I say, but
He has predictably slotted the free. 6 points each, 28 minutes gone. Good catch, Jack Barry. Oh, I thought he had a lot more space in front of him there than he took advantage of. Well done, Paddy Hampsey. Must be tough getting marked by Pádraig Hampsey.
It is, yeah. Even for the genius that is David Clifford.
Like he's just such a hard, tough defender, isn't he? Like, Owen says, as a Dublin fan, I'm not confident tomorrow. The likes of Fenton and Con and a few other veterans are the only thing that's getting us deep into the Senior Football Championship. Bringing back Cluxon shows Desi feels the same. Yeah, we'll address this one where Kerry aren't on their game today. Tyrone to edge it. I agree with you. Now, the Dublin one, I actually agree with you. I think that, in my opinion, I have a little bit of a feeling that Desi, I'll be interested to get your opinion on this, Matthew. I have a feeling that Desi kind of wants to win. Kerry have slotted that free, by the way. I have a feeling that the pressure of being Dublin manager and the fact that we've been knocked out in 2 semi-finals now back to back, I feel like Desi wants to win one more and then get out. Because you can't tell me that bringing in a 41-year-old goalkeeper is a move for the future, especially when you had David O'Hanlon there in such good form.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is about O'Hanlon, that's the one thing I focused on the Dublin team. He's not even on the panel anymore.
Yeah, he's literally Evan Comerford is the sub-goalkeeper for tomorrow.
I mean, his confidence must be down the drain. I feel so sorry for him, James.
So do I.
He did so well in the league, and he's just repeated like this. It's very, very poor form. But I don't think he's
dropping a free short there for Tyrone. Can't be missing those chances. David would have stuck that one.
Well, yeah, in other days,
I feel a goal will win this match. Yeah, I actually completely agree with you, Denise. I think that's why it was so important to look at the 2021 game. And I was saying, I think, basing it off, I think I could see Tyrone snatching a couple of goals here. But their defence has been pretty tight so far, Kerry's.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think.
Very nice, Diarmuid O'Connor.
I think Jason Foley's having a good game so far. I will say this. I think
He is
he's
having a good game,
yeah.
And he's under Paddy Tally. He's just gone levels up. Because I remember he was like there for the taking under Peter Keane.
Yeah, he was, to be fair, and even like Cork targeted Jason Foley, but he wasn't up to his standard this year. Let's be honest, up until today. But he's turned around. I think he's done admirably. In fairness to him, like the turnover he's putting in, the driving up the field. I think he's nearly been the man of the match so far. Well, it's nearly half time, so anything can change. Actually, Hamsey and Foley, two defenders, have been excellent.
Yeah.
I'd
probably say Foley if I had to. I think Tom O'Sullivan's been pretty good as well.
Yeah, I think he has as well. It's a team of defenders.
But we were in a similar place 2 years ago.
Yeah, and then Tyrone gets something or nothing. Oh.
Okay. Yeah, Paddy. Wait till you see Paddy squaring up to Conor Myler.
Oh, I see now.
It's a funny way of squaring up to somebody. He did the Scott Brown where he's standing like that in front of him. They're having some battle, those two.
Yeah, they are.
So David will slot this. Kerry will go 3 up. And that little burst that they got now of hitting 3 unanswered points, that could be crucial.
Could be. I think is there a sub coming on? Or is there not?
Surely not bringing a sub on now.
I thought the public announcer went off. I don't know, was it just someone's car or something like that? But heard it off, and I thought sub was coming on there. But
David slots it. Kerry 3 up. Owen says Tyrone nearly always come out on top when the score is tight at halftime in a big championship game. When they lose, they usually get battered early. Good point.
Yeah.
You look at Dublin in 2017, Conor O'Callaghan's goal was parting of the ways. Game was finished at halftime.
Yeah, it was. But as long as Tyrone...
God, I missed that Dublin team.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder, do you miss the Dublin team in 2010 or 2009 or Hillgate?
Do you know what? Like, in terms of entertainment, that Dublin team was box office. Like, they'd never do it easy.
Yeah.
The Hillgate, like, let's be honest, if Hillgate was to happen now, Dublin would just come out and go to the other end.
Yeah.
Like, for anybody watching who doesn't know what we're talking about, basically, there was kind of an unwritten tradition that Dublin would always go down and warm up in front of Hill 16. And then in 2006, Mayo were the first team out. And nobody had ever gone down to Dublin's end of Croke Park. And Mayo went down to warm up in front of the Hill 16 Dublin fans. And Dublin came out and went straight down to the same end while Mayo were warming up. Both teams warmed up in the same end before an All-Ireland semi-final. Like, if that was this post-Jim Gavin, Dublin wouldn't even bother with that. They go straight down to the Davin end. Okay, you want to do that? Fine.
Yeah, that's what Aaron said. They'd go down the other end.
Jim Gavin just he didn't do emotions. Like, you look at it, like every time Dublin won the coin toss under Gavin, they shot into the Hill 16 in the first half. Anytime they won it, because he didn't want to rely on emotion. He didn't want to rely on getting so-called momentum.
Yeah. There's a sub coming on there. Frank Burns went on for Cormac Quinn. So that's the first sub of the day.
I'm not surprised Burns is in.
Yeah, not surprised either. I thought he'd be a late change, to be honest with you. But it's hard for Cormac good year.
Yeah. Gee, David is absolutely ballooned one. Morgan's out. Morgan plays like a madman. Like, I love watching Noel Morgan play. I feel like Morgan's the type of guy to come off his line and try and, win a high ball. Like, he literally did it there. Win a high ball on the 21-yard line. He's so entertaining.
We'll say David Clifford's just not on it today. 7 shots, only 3 taken, and the 3 took were from freeze. So
He
he's
hasn't
just
scored from
not.
play.
No, he hasn't at
Oh,
all.
wow. I mean, there you go. Well done, Paddy Hampsey. Like, it's...
Yeah. Deserves a round of applause.
High ball for Con. Well, broken by Jack Barry.
2 minutes out of time.
Those little things are crucial. Like, you could tell they dropped Con Kilpatrick in there as like a high ball option. They hammered one into him, and up went Jack Barry, broke it away.
He did well, to be fair, Jack Barry there. There'll be no... You'd feel with this Kerry team now, there's going to be no mistake like the Conor McKenna goal 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Feeling from this Kerry team, so...
Well, I mean, the mistake with McKenna's third goal was laughable. Like,
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Just swung out a leg at it. Like, it hadn't even a breeze where it was going.
Yeah. No, that was very, very good. If Tyrone could get 2 or a point or 2 behind, I think I'd fancy them in the second half. They're always a close game team. But the question is, can they get that?
I agree with you. I think if they get the last score at a half now, I feel like they'll be actually happy going down the tunnel.
And what will happen going down the tunnel now? Don't think
will they send them in the same side, do you reckon?
We'll see now. We'll see. I'm not sure they're going to be in the same side. I think they're the same end as Galway and Arm Arbor, because that's where the opening game is.
Peter Hard. Oh, here we go.
You better shoot now.
Take on all of Kerry. Can't go magic.
Peter Hard. Oh, jeez. No, wait.
Wait till you see this.
Con's up for it.
Yeah, Con Kilpatrick trying to take on half of Kerry. Half time. I think if PD had a slot of that last one, I feel like Tyrone would go in a lot kind of better form. Oh, have some words here. I think Tyrone are being held. Still having words.
Clifford, he's
right. Adrian Spillane having words here. Michael McKernan is getting involved. Hampsey's getting involved. Oh, and they're going down the tunnel at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
They're just... Oh! Milo's breaking it up.
Yeah. They're going to make this nasty, Tyrone. This is what they do.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They got a second half to look forward to here. You can tell, right? They were trying to do it. They were trying to keep Tyrone away from Kerry.
Yeah.
But Tyrone were just not having it. And one poor linesman was just trying to stay in front of like 15 Tyrone lads across to stay keep away from them. And the Kerry lads were, to be fair, like, I rate the bravery of Tig Morley, Adrian Spillane, and I think it was Gavin White was there, because there was 3 of them, and it was about 15 Tyrone lads, and they were hanging back to have words with them. Like, I'm there thinking in my head, yeah, if this kicks off, yous are majorly outnumbered, lads.
Exactly, yeah. Like, jeez, like it was nearly
early thoughts on the first half.
Yeah, I think Kerry have been the better team, I have to say. But Tyrone, they're just hanging in there. But I agree with you completely at the end of the half. If P. Hart got that point at the end, it would have been a very, very interesting second half. But alas, no, Kerry have the lead by 3 points. But what I will say, David Clifford is rattled in this. Paddy Hampsey has him. So
yeah. We had him in the first half, that's for sure. And anybody watching, give in your comments. Let us know what you made of that first half. Kerry 9, Tyrone 6 at halftime. We have a comment in here from Denise. Is there any game this year where Tyrone didn't get a black or a red card? Did they get one in the Westmeath game?
I think they might have got a black card, or was that... I think they did.
I wouldn't be able to say with confidence. I know Frank Burns got sent off against Galway. That's the main one that you're looking at and thinking, God, that tackle was rough. We'll also, Matthew, we'll use the halftime to talk about some. Yeah, Denise says, yeah, they did. We'll use this halftime, Matthew, to talk about the other, interesting stories across the GA as well. What's going on in the game right now? Obviously, like without a doubt, is like this. We were mentioning about the players wearing the same top. Obviously, here the sit down protest, which has been happening up and down the country at LGFA and camogie matches. What do you make of this? Like the whole situation. If anybody is confused as to what is going on, basically, the women's GPA was voted to merge with the men's GPA. They merged at the start of 2022. Then they basically proposed a load of things such as equal investment, opportunity, exposure, recognition, etc. for all the players. Where 18 months later, the players have seen absolutely no progress on the promises made, hence the protest. And the sit down protest, as we were saying, Matthew, needs to happen, in my opinion, because every player deserves the same level of respect, investment, exposure, recognition as each other.
They definitely deserve respect, to be honest with you. Like the dual clashes are a disgrace. Not adding up to the G, the hurling, everything should be merged. No doubt about it. Like when you look at these fixture clashes between the Camogie and the LGFA over the past few weeks, and the fact they aren't getting paid. You look at Cavan at the start of the year, the Cavan ladies, they weren't getting paid, expenses. I mean, it's a disgrace, and it will only take people retweeting tweets, going to games for this message to be put across in general. Because I've seen over the past few days, Conor Myler, who's coincidentally playing this game in Kerry Tyrone, he's one advocate for it. He's retweeting, ladies' opinions and things like that. And that's what the men need to do now. They need to stand up and defend their counterparts in all of this. And ultimately, this has been the work, Seamus, for what, 2-3 years? And it hasn't come to fruition yet. I mean, it's very, very, very questionable in fairness to them. If the men gets them, things laid out for them, the women should as well. It's only fair, and that's what they're only asking for: a bit of fairness, a bit of equality. They're just not getting it at the moment. That's the big thing about it. And like Aaron actually made a very good point on my podcast during the week, and he said that something that needs to be done, actually wearing the shorts and all that, that's okay in the sit down protest. But what they can do, walk off the pitch. If they do that, then
can you imagine? Right, here's what I would genuinely suggest. Pick a minute of the game, like the 42nd minute or whatever, and just walk off mid-game. Just stop playing and just walk off the pitch mid-game. I mean, that would be a rattle. And it's like, basically, they have promised that if things don't change, that they could actually boycott the whole championship next season in 2024. I mean, that's really now it's annoying because it's just like, it annoys me because it's just like, it's basic respect. Just treat the players with the respect that they deserve. That's why it irritates me. And it's just like, they're not treating them with the respect that they deserve. So continue with the protests as far as I'm concerned. Continue with the sit-down protests, wearing the T-shirts. Do whatever you need to do to get the equality that you deserve, in my opinion. That's So me and Matthew fully behind this, and we want to keep seeing these protests until the players have achieved the equality that our game needs and that these players deserve, the respect that these players deserve. We have a couple of comments in here from the people watching about the game. We have a comment in here from Denise. She says, Cathal McShane and Jason Foley is a matchup I need to see. I mean, I think we might very well get that matchup in the second half. And we were talking about McShane. What difference can he make in the second half going into this game? Like, exactly what could he come on to do?
I think he can add an area presence in there. Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, you look at Con Kilpatrick there. Yes, he's a tall lad, but he's not an attacker. If you put Cathal McShane in, that's going to cause a lot of problems for Kerry, definitely. And what I will say, Kerry or Tyrone have Kerry's number with David Clifford, it seems, in the first half. If they bring out McShane, that's an extra problem for Kerry to deal with in general. So I'm telling you, it can work. It can definitely work. And there's other attackers.
Do you remember the comment that we had in where I can't remember exactly who it was from, but you had a comment in saying, I think a goal is going to win this game. What did McShane do when he came on for Tyrone in 2021? Pretty much every time scored a goal at a crucial moment.
Yeah.
And God, if this game isn't teed up for someone to get a goal at a crucial moment. I mean, Tyrone are only 3 points behind in a half where they were off the pace. And we have a comment in here from Owen. He says, I think the GA have done a great job reworking the championship. Tons of quality games now. The double headers are amazing atmosphere-wise too, where it was declining badly in the 2010s. I do agree. Like, we've got to a quarterfinal stage here. Like, at the start of the year, I would have always been an advocate for senior championship, intermediate championship, junior championship. But this is also really good. Like, the way that the teams have had to battle through to the quarterfinals, it does give you more time to watch their championship. It gives you more time to build up a bit of anticipation and a bit of quiet optimism. Because let's be honest, like Cork, the way that Cork got through to the quarterfinal last year against Dublin, nobody expected Cork to put it up to Dublin in the quarterfinal last year. Whereas Cork getting that victory over Mayo and getting the victory over Roscommon, you saw at the end of the Roscommon game, Matthew, it was clear as day. The crowd at the end of the Roscommon game, you could tell they'll travel to Croke Park. They'll travel to Croke Park to see their team.
They will, and they will travel up in numbers. Like, it's actually refreshing that I'm talking to people during the week down here in Cork, and they're saying, "Oh, we'll go up to the game." I think we can. There's actual belief in Cork that we can go on and win it. I just hope it doesn't come back biting in our face tomorrow. You know, Derry are a superb team too. They're Ulster champions 2 times in a row. And in general, Seamus, I'm saying a Derry win because I don't want to put too much pressure on the lads, really. You know, because they've been excellent this season. They've they've right the wrongs. They've done brilliant. They've used the stepping stones under John Cleary. Kevin Walsh has done brilliant. But I just think Derry, they're Ulster champions 2 times in a row. They've probably been the most consistent team this season. They were very good in their last competitive game against Donegal, really putting them to the sword in Ballybuffet. So I think Derry, they're still favourites for this. And they can't be in fairness. But there is a buzz around Cork. There's no doubt about that. Maybe it's because the hurlers are out and there's a chance for the footballers. But everyone knows the footballers now. You look at Ian McGuire, Colm O'Callaghan, Stephen Sherlock, Brian Hurley. They're known around the county now. And that's going to be big for them. Rory Maguire, another big one. 4 points in the last 2 games. He's another one well known across the county as well. So I think it's great. I think it's brilliant.
And let's be honest as well, the recognition is also the thing that could push Cork players to maybe pick football.
Yeah.
Because you look at it, in 2010, Cork football was on top of the world. You had Aidan Walsh, who was an amazingly talented hurler and footballer, and he chose the football back then. Cork was having an issue a couple of years ago with world-class footballers picking the hurling, very similar to Dublin. You had the likes of Brian Hayes, Damien Cahalane, Owen Callaghan. Like, that type of thing was going on. Even Aidan Walsh, funny enough, switched over to the hurling. Now, could we see the likes of, maybe the next Brian Hayes, etc., choose this football now?
Yeah, that's an interesting point, right? Like, and when you look at Brian Hayes, he didn't start for the hurlers either. Whereas for the footballers, I think he could start. But at the same time, Killian O'Hanlon's doing Brian Hayes' usual position this season too. Brian O'Driscoll's been a revelation. So, if Brian Hayes comes back into the football team, that'll add more competition as well, which is brilliant. Brilliant for the team.
Get another comment in here. Alan says TG Carr should get some championship games with all the work that they do for the grassroots and women's coverage, even if it shares coverage with RTE or GAA Go. Absolutely agree. Agree. I fully think that TG Carr is worth its weight in gold. Like, when you look at the content that they make, the Laker Gales are fantastic. The coverage of the LGFA matches is actually really, really good. And it's just, they are fantastic. Like, they are brilliant. And I think, I'd love to see some championship coverage. Even Oscoelga, if you bring in the Irish side for the Gaelgoers in the Gaeltachts around the country, that they could watch the match Oscoelga. That is something that they would absolutely love. As someone who's been to the Gaeltachts a lot of times, they'd love watching the games being covered in Irish. You have a comment in here from Rene. He says, I played football in Camogie. Now I have to settle for Camogie as travel gear expenses were too high and the low level of spectators was an embarrassment to play in front of. Lady sport equals men equality. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said. I mean, no doubt about that. I have another comment in here from Gavin O'Reilly. He says, Tyrone Armagh final would be something. Imagine that. Imagine the atmosphere. I was saying, if you're talking about a pure spectacle, and hear me out on this, I want to hear what your opinions are on this, guys. I think if you're talking for pure drama, for pure like what is going on, I think if Armagh played Mayo in the final, it would be mental.
Yeah.
Because those are two teams that always make it difficult for themselves in terms of like Mayo in a final would be nervous, Armagh in the final would be nervous.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everything would just be going everywhere if those there'd be no hanging on to the ball for 15 minutes in that game. They're both box office to watch.
They are, and that'll be an amazing game to watch, definitely. So yeah, look,
can they play each other in the semi-final?
Can't remember they have. I'm not sure.
I know that there are teams that can't. I know Kerry Cork can't play each other.
Kerry Cork can't play each other. Mayo Cork, Mayo Kerry, Armagh, Tyrone, Armagh Derry. Actually, they're taking in provincial championships as well. So Armagh can't play Derry either. Monaghan can't play Derry. Monaghan can't play Tyrone. The only team that can play anybody is Dublin. That's the only thing clear about it. So yeah,
I think it's potentially teed up for Dublin to play Kerry then if Dublin get through, and if Kerry get through this one. Dublin Mayo is going to be so interesting, man. Like, I'm going to be there at the game. So if you see me at the game, like, don't be afraid to come up and tell me that Dublin are going to lose. But on top of that, like, I just think it's going to be such an interesting game, and I really can't wait to go see it because, like, I was saying this to Aaron, and like me and Aaron were agreeing on it. We were saying, like, by far, I think this is the weirdest time to be a Dublin fan because I feel like during the 2000s, we knew what we were. We weren't the best team in Ireland. And then the 2010s, we were the best team to a point where some games were over after 20 minutes or they were over before they even began. Now it's like on paper, we still have an absolute, cracking team, but we look beatable sometimes. So that's why it's a weird time to be a fan. I don't know what to expect going into this game. We've commented here from Owen, this is about my thing with the Armagh final. There wouldn't be a litre of diesel washed in Armagh if they would. The GA need to address the ladies' issues ASAP. Look at the crowds for men games. Half the stadium is women. Exactly. Just exactly. It's just like basic respect, man. It does annoy me when I see these things. And Denise says, by God, I will indeed, Seamus. Come on, Mayo. So Denise will be the first one to remind me if Mayo beat Dublin in this quarter final. But yeah, like to touch on Owen's comment there, the sorting out the issue with the protests and stuff. They need to sort it out. It's not a good look for them when they're not treating their athletes with the respect that they deserve. It's just simply put. It's like if these players need, like even Vicky Wall, like the comment that she made about players taking money out of their own pocket to go see physios and all, like that's not good, man.
No, it isn't at all. Imagine paying for your own expenses.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. Like number one, the commitment that they put in for nothing back, by the way, in terms of like getting paid, like they're not getting paid, and on top of that, like it's actually costing them money then if they get injured.
Yeah, and it's a joke. It really is a joke.
Yeah.
Like, and ramming home even more, Vicky Wall is a 2-time in a row All-Ireland champion.
Yeah, literally.
This is the respect they get as Kerry go out to the field now, but it's a joke. It really is, Seamus, and it's kind of sickening that we talk about this nearly every year. You know, it's very, very, very poor from
teams are back out. Teams are back out.
And I wonder would they go
as well, guys. I said it in the video. I made a full video talking about the sit-down protest and why I like fully think it needs to continue until it achieves the goals of equal treatment for every player. But yeah, well, like Matthew, same as yourself, will both be keeping up with that, no doubt. I mean, I'm sure it won't be the last time that we talk about it. Yeah, the teams are back out. I'm expecting some madness to happen in the second half. I can't lie. Like when you looked at halftime and how Tyrone were trying to rough the Kerry lads up going down the tunnel, like
they look ready. They look ready coming out. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall in that dressing room, like, to see what was going on there.
Yeah.
Okay, the lads are back out.
This is the
Would you say
frustrating
that
thing.
Jack O'Connor, would you say Jack O'Connor, his biggest rival is Tyrone? Not necessarily that he would hate Tyrone, but in terms of the way that that's the team that might get him going the most.
Maybe. Themselves. It's a tight one between Tyrone, Dublin, and Cork, to be honest. Wayne Cork were the full
combat. Good atmosphere over there for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I'll be in the Nally Terrace tomorrow. So
I believe I'll be Cusick somewhere. Unsure as to where, but
yeah. And
just a foul there by McKernan on Shawnee O'Shea.
Yeah, and this is a chance to go 4 points clear.
Was there an issue there with an advantage? I missed that there.
There was, yeah. Someone hit it in the back of the net there. Some Kerry player.
There was David Clifford. He followed it in. Now you have to put the ball over the bar, but I'm telling you, if Tyrone go out to win that game, that issue could be looked back at.
Could be.
What's the biggest where you've watched the replay and been like, oh, that's going to be big? What's the other one? For me, it's no doubt. It's when Crokes were playing Glen, and then I saw the 16th man on the pitch.
Oh no,
oh. That's not going to go well.
Honestly, the Loud and Beef game.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course. Oh, that's obviously the biggest. I mean, that stopped people being allowed onto the pitch in Croke Park forever.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
That literally changed the GAA as we know it.
Yeah, and then the other thing that actually went the other way, the typical Kenny point in hindsight, because we don't know, did Hawkeye 2014, that is, the bubbles of the world. Was Hawkeye actually
just took that as gospel? Yeah, Hawkeye's right.
Yeah, and it could have been wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tyrone are trying to get stuck into them. Kerry are hanging onto the ball really well here. And that's the thing, if Kerry win this game, fair play, because Tyrone are a tough matchup for them.
They are, yeah. And they proved me, Aaron, and yourself wrong if they go on and win it.
That was a foul by Paddy Hamsey. I don't know why he's getting mad. He's not even looking at the ball. Wait till you see the replay. Clifford's looking at the ball. Hamsey's just standing bare hugging him. And the ref's giving it free to Kerry. It's gas, isn't it? You know when a player does something that's the most obvious free ever, and then they get up and they're like, what? Hamsey's not even looking at the ball there. He's just holding David Clifford.
Yeah. Well, I will say, actually, it was a good block at the end. I know it was a foul, but it was a good block after.
Yeah. Shawnee spots the free. So now Kerry have hit 2 quickfire points on the restart, and they're 11 points to 6 up now.
Yeah. That's the thing. But we questioned about Kerry's spread of scores. Actually, they have 7 different scores today. So that's impressive. I have to say.
Well, it's they've scored 11 points, and David hasn't scored from play yet. So that shows how important it is. Gavin O'Reilly, wakey, Tyrone. Big time. They haven't letting Kerry get the first 2 points in the second half. Without doubt, that's allowed Kerry to open up a 5-point lead.
It's a foul on Myler there. So
yellow card, Graham O'Sullivan.
That's the third yellow card today. I did expect cards. I asked Aaron, that was about the Armagh game.
Armagh, Monaghan will have a few cards as well. I think they all will, to be honest.
Yeah. Definitely. I'd say Mayo Dublin.
What game do you think will have the most cards? Actually, that's a big. What game do you think will have the most cards?
I'm gonna go Armagh Monaghan.
Armagh Monaghan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Derry Cork could be a dark shout, as in potentially, but I don't know. I feel like the rivalry between Kerry and Tyrone would have made it a good candidate at the start. We still could see 3 players on yellow cards.
Yeah.
Tyrone attacking here. Bring in Cathal McShane. Why are you firing a high ball?
And McShane's not in there.
Canavan and Cathal McShane's on the bench.
I mean, Canavan has had 1 shot so far.
Canavan's had one shot at the post, and he scored it. It was a brilliant point, but if you're firing high ball in, McShane should be the guy who's in there.
Yeah.
Owen says slipping away from Tyrone now. Tyrone are the team who Kerry wanted to play least, and if they beat them with Cliff misfiring, they'll be extremely confident in the semis, without doubt. Because I'm like, if they get through this game, like I think they're going to be seriously hard to stop.
It's turning over there, so they need to take their chances. Is that a free?
Kieran McGeary, yellow card. I don't understand why they've started this second half so flat. Like, they literally went down the tunnel at half. McGeary, this is silly. But they went down the tunnel at half time. They looked so fired up. They came out the second half, looked so fired up. They've allowed Kerry to get 2 easy frees at the start of the second half to open up a 5-point lead.
Yeah. What I will say though, a goal will change this game. All the more reason to bring in McShane.
Could make a major impact off the bench. I think we could see Niall Sutton come in. I wouldn't be surprised if he came in for Kieran McGeary or Michael O'Neill. One of the transition players like that, especially now that both McGeary and O'Neill are on yellow cards.
Exactly, yeah. And even Joe Goose, would you bring him on?
Joe Goose is a good player, yeah. Again, where though, and for who? Would you bring him on for McGeary and O'Neill? I think they need to bring McShane's the next one. He's the next one they need to bring in. They need to bring him in now.
Yeah. The thing is, would you bring him on for Donnelly, McShane?
I'd bring him on for McGeary personally.
McGeary.
Spillane fires over. Kerry 6 up now. I'd love to know, when's the last time Tyrone scored?
Oh, that's a brutal.
Because I know they were level. Kerry have hit 6 points in a row.
Checking out, Tyrone's last score was in the 28th minute, around that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. They've gone nearly 10 minutes or over 10 minutes without a score.
Yeah, no, they've gone over 10 minutes. They've gone 13 minutes without scoring.
Yeah.
You can't do that. Like, you can't do that and expect to get away with it. And in that time, Kerry have scored 6.
Another candidate
by Gavin White. Don't take it quickly. Let Morgan come up and have a shot at this.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, they're just not making the right decisions.
Oh. Oh. Oh, no. Well done, Shane Ryan. Think you're about to see that now if your stream is. Did you see that, the goal chance?
You know, yeah.
Well done, Shane Ryan. And Kerry straight down the other end. Oh, David Clifford misses down the other end.
Wow. Clifford against Hampstead.
Morgan did well there.
Oh, off the post.
Are you getting the... I think you're a few seconds behind me, Matthew, on the feed.
Yeah. I think I am, yeah.
Owen says, Sludden and McShane are all stars on their day. Surely they put them on now. What's their game plan? Down 6, playing flat as hell, no subs. Exactly, yeah. Like, and 7 behind now. Kerry have got another one. Sean O'Shea.
Oh. And they could have gone for goal there as well.
No, it's actually getting to the point now where even if Tyrone hit 2 goals, like, I'm not 100% sure they win this. They've really taken their foot off the gas.
And I agree with
McShane in for me. Call McShane on for Michael O'Neill and Niall Sludden on for Kieran McGeary. There are 2 changes I would make now.
Yeah.
Joe Goose is coming in.
Yeah. I called it. So this guy's good.
Goose is a good player now. You wonder as well. I remember seeing a debate coming up saying, could Mickey Hart return to Tyrone? When you look at how good he's been with Louth.
Maybe. He'll get a bounce, definitely.
You definitely get a bounce out of him.
I see now recorded there, Diego. He said that Kerry are going to town. Absolutely agree with him.
Yeah, they've really now in the last 10 minutes.
Tyrone are getting frustrated now. Look, you can see Rory Canavan there. He's getting frustrated. It's happening. No, it's getting away from
O'Goo's in for... Oh, McShane's in too. Good.
Oh, yeah. That's something.
McGeary and Rory Canavan gone.
Rory Canavan, wow.
I mean, he did get 1 point in the first half.
He got 2 in the first half, Canavan.
He got 2, did he?
Yeah. But maybe it's just the energy. Like it's
maybe it's just a bit too soon. I don't know. He's definitely gonna be a world beater, but this is McShane time now.
Yeah. Put him in the square. Tyrone, please. Just put him in the square.
Game is simple. Just score something, will you? Like it's... Oh, here. Woo! Good save. You're about to see that.
Tyke more
about time, about the substitutes. Have you seen the goal chance?
I did, yeah. Paul Gainey out for 45.
Okay.
Yeah, it was that marking though.
Shawnee O'Shea. And this, like with the form he's been in today, I don't think he misses this, even though it's a really difficult free. I seem to remember a free that he scored last year. That was also really difficult.
Yeah. Broke your heart, Seamus.
Absolutely. He's a cracking player. He's an absolute cracking player. I genuinely think he's probably one of, if not the best free takers in Ireland.
Probably so, yeah.
And I put the curse on him because he missed. Oh no, he scored.
Hawkeye?
He got it. He got it. Yeah, he got it. He got it. There you go. See?
No, he got it. 8 points now. Wow.
I think that's... Is it too early to say that game over?
When you look at the second half now, they brought off the graphic again. Brilliant from Diego. 5 points. 36, 38, 42, 44, 47. Look, it's a good spread there from Kerry.
Tyrone scoring in the second half from Sean O'Shea. Absolutely. And he'd shown signs of, coming to life. Against Louth, goal and 8, he scored.
Yeah. Tyrone, they're getting sloppy, Look,
I can't lie. I've been really impressed with how Kerry have just neutralised Tyrone at the start of the second half.
What Jay Gober noting there, Dave McIntyre, he was noting the turnovers, and look at the stats here: 17 turnovers won by Kerry, 9 by Tyrone. It's the winning and losing of the game. They're more intense for us.
Kerry are working so hard.
They are, in fairness to them, even though Tyrone have turned the ball over there and won a free of it. So, but no, they need to bring on Niles Dunn, a runner.
Yeah. All right, here's McShane. Got it. He's on Foley there. Oh, big hit. Tyke Morley did really well there. Swept across.
Jeez, Morley did well here.
Kerry are looking good. Gainey. Oh, he should have scored that. Should have scored that. 49 minutes gone. Kerry 14 points. Tyrone 6. Look, you said what was it? 20. So now they're 21 minutes without a score, Tyrone.
Yeah. It was a 28 minutes around that period. Where
I'm being honest, saying that with that type of form, you don't deserve to be in the semi-final. You can't go 21 minutes without scoring.
Saying 27.5 minutes. That's when their last score was.
Against Kerry as well, to go 21 minutes without scoring. Against the champions. It's very rare that you'd even be in it. And they're 8 points down now. Be
Kerry are just
hugely impressed by Kerry. I can't lie, I've been hugely impressed by Kerry.
Yeah.
And I did pick Tyrone to win this game.
Yeah. Looks like
David's
Hawkeye to win.
David's Hawkeye. David Clifford with the shot. Hawkeye it is.
From play. He'll be just hoping it goes over because he's missed the last 5 shots.
He hasn't scored from play yet, so be hoping that this one's over.
We'll be hoping the technology is in his favour.
Wide.
Again. Oh. He's just not having a good day, to be
Not
honest.
having his good day, but that's a really good sign for Kerry that even when he's not having his best day, they're still decisively putting Tyrone away. Stephen O'Brien is in.
As well.
Stephen O'Brien in for Adrian Spillane. But this is when, I'm being honest saying this as well, I would never use Tony Brosnan's in for Kerry for Paul Gainey. So we'll see how Brosnan gets on. But this is the time when the lack of squad depth that Tyrone have now from the players that they've lost over the last couple of years is really hitting them, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So they had the likes of Conor McKenna, Lee Brennan, Ronan O'Neill, Tiernan McCann that they've lost over the last couple of years. Mark Bradley. Yeah. They'd have serious options there coming in off the bench.
Rory Brennan
as well, yeah.
Even Paul Donahue.
Paul Donahue as well, yeah. Remember he scored 10 points in the league game. I think it was in 2020.
Yeah. We're all raving about him, but then
he didn't start in 2021, and then when they won the All-Ireland, he just packed up.
Yeah.
Great ball. Oh, wow. Could be game over here. Game over. Game over. Diarmuid O'Connor, goal. Lovely finish.
Oh, it's a brilliant goal, yeah.
Fantastic goal. Well done, Tony Brosnan. Great finish by Diarmuid O'Connor.
And what I will say, well done, the referee. He played advantage.
Yeah. What is going on with Tyrone?
Yeah.
They're literally melting in front of us, like.
Yeah. That's one of our predictions going down the drain, Seamus.
So much for a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Absolutely no chance. Denise says, Tyrone are really struggling. They need to push up all or nothing at this stage. Exactly. Like, I mean, here's the situation that they have now. They're 11 points behind. Like, there's no more moral victories here. They just have to go for it.
Thing is, as well, if you include the added time in the first set, they haven't scored for nearly 28 minutes now. Tyrone.
They just...
They're just off.
McCurry's just after landing a free.
Oh, is he? Right.
But yeah, no, 20, like that amount of time.
Without scoring.
Unbelievable. We have a question here from Owen. Will the Kerry and Tyrone fans stick around for the second game, do you reckon?
Tyrone won't, definitely. I know Tyrone.
I think Tyrone will. I don't know if Tyrone, on top of getting absolutely thumped in their own quarterfinal, whether or not they'd want to see Armagh or Monaghan celebrating getting through to the semi-final.
No, the one thing Tyrone fans actually hate is losing. They don't want to lose.
Yeah.
And I'll come across a few Tyrone fans.
I think the Kerry fans will stick around. Have a look.
I don't know.
Oh, David got some hit there. Wait till you see this hit on David Clifford. Bush.
Oh, wow.
Kerry won't with the train schedule. Yeah, actually true. We haven't even considered what it is to get home. I mean, if you want to stay over in Dublin, you better have about 50 grand there in your bank account just in case.
Yeah.
Gavin O'Reilly says a hammering. I'm sure the Armagh fans are loving this.
They are, yeah.
I mean, no doubt about it. I'd say the Armagh fans that are already in the stadium have their green and gold jerseys on. David Clifford standing over the free. He's completely missed that. What is going on with this fella today? He's laughing like he's laughing to himself. He's not having a good game by his standards at all. He's still the best footballer in Ireland, but he's not having a good game today.
Yeah, and that's 7 misses now for him. So 7 misses out of 11 shots.
The Tyrone point in the 27th minute, was that from play?
I'm checking now. I don't think it was. I'll have a look. No. Their last point from play was 20 minutes and 33 seconds.
So they've not scored from play in 35 minutes.
Yeah. As they get another yellow.
That's embarrassing there.
Yeah. No, it's very, very poor.
I didn't expect this. I have to say, I didn't expect this. I thought we were in for an absolute cracker. Tyrone attacking here, Matty Donnelly. Down to Connor Myler. McShane. Jason Foley on him. McShane's through the gap. Cathal McShane over the bar. Good score. They need more of that. Like, once they hit it directly into him, you can make things happen.
Yeah. What I will say though, Seamus, this has been a very disappointing quarterfinal.
This, like, especially considering what we were expecting at halftime.
Yeah.
Kerry have come out and just blitzed them.
Yeah.
Kerry came out and they hit the 1-5 without reply at the start of the second half.
And I'd say as well, not just attack, but in defence as well. More so in defence. I think they've turned the ball over. They've done their job today, and
David's just landed a point from play. Normal service resumed. This is a massacre now at this stage. This is. Owen says, has this been Tyrone playing shite or Kerry playing well? Barrow, Shea, Kerry haven't played as well as they could, so they can definitely go another level up for the semis. Yeah, like that's the other thing. Kerry have looked so good, but I also think that they can play better. Like David Clifford hasn't been on his A game. Brino Buglic's in for Gavin White. I think it's a combination of both. I think Kerry have been good, but I think Tyrone have been dreadful in the second half.
Yeah, I've been out.
We're 58 minutes in. They've scored 2 points in the second half, only one of them from play.
Yeah.
They went 30 minutes without, it was 35 minutes without scoring from play.
Yeah. That's very poor. But what I was going to say about Kerry, like what do you think of him? At the same time, they didn't perform against the likes of Cork at the group stage either. That's what I'm saying about Kerry. So
it is difficult, but maybe this is the case of peaking at the right time.
Maybe.
Donnelly's just flipped one over there. Tyrone have got 3 of the last 4 points. They need a goal now.
But they're not going to get it.
He says Tyrone need a miracle at this stage. They're not going to get a goal, no, because Jason Foley's in too good form there, in my opinion, at the back. Darren Moynihan off. Did you see who came in for Darren Moynihan there?
Didn't yet, no. I'll see now. 22, Micheál Burns.
Micheál Burns. He's literally carbon copy. Yeah. He'll do the same job as Moynihan. I'm a little bit speechless, to be honest. Kerry have looked just really good. They've shut down Tyrone. Owen says, will McManus have one last Croker big game today off the bench? Reckon he retires soon enough. Yeah, I think McManus is gone at the end of the season if Monaghan don't win the All-Ireland. Do you know what the first clue is always, Matthew? I think whenever they start to pop up in the RT studio after they're knocked out, I think that's like their hint that they're about to retire. I think they're like testing life out post inter-county. Like when Lee Keegan popped up after Mayo got knocked out, I was like, yeah, Lee's not coming back. So Conor McManus has popped up in the studio last year, so I was surprised that he came back, but I think I think he will come off the bench. There's no doubt about that. Do you think he can lead Monaghan to victory?
It's going to be a tough ask. Like Armagh, you don't know with Armagh either, because like they perform well one day and then the next day they're very, very poor. But like Monaghan will definitely put it up to them, but not so much down to McManus. I think Conor McCarthy's done well this year. Ryan O'Toole. Actually, interesting enough from the Tyrone and Kerry games of the Ulster Championship, the only changes that Monaghan have from that team to the team they have out this evening is Darren Hughes and Conor McManus are out of the team for youngsters.
Another goal. Oh, and it was a brilliant goal.
Oh, wow. That was too much space. Oh, my God.
But look how much space he has.
No, at this stage, Seamus, it's laughable. Absolutely laughable from Toronto. How do you leave that? Like, I think that was for the ball into him. Who's marking him, like? And they're literally, oh my God, like.
Unbelievable.
Oh my Lord.
I don't even. McShane's after slotting over a point. We have a couple of comments in here. Owen says, really wish Keegan stayed in the Mayo panel. Arguably a top 3 player of his generation with Fenton and Connolly, in my opinion. Yeah, Keegan's one of my favourite players of all time. I really wish he had an All-Ireland medal. I think there's no one more deserving, in my opinion, the efforts he's put in over the years. We have Tommy here, says Mayo Dublin predictions. Matthew has gone with Mayo. I've gone with Dublin. I think Dublin are going to lay out a more defensive approach to try and stifle Mayo in a similar way to how Cork tried to do it and successfully did it, and how Louth did it, and how Roscommon did it. I think Dublin are going to try replicate that. But then again, Roscommon also got at Dublin, so Mayo could take a lot from that game too. The amount of space there for the O'Shea goal, I can't believe.
Oh my God. How, like 2 men on David Clifford there. And then balling it was Tony Brosnan that got the ball. How much space was that?
I wonder what the odds would have been on this at the start. Kerry to win by 10 plus. Denise has a very good question. She says, will this benefit Kerry having a walk-through second half so far on in the championship? So again, could you argue Kerry haven't been tested?
Well, you have to get tested because they've lost to Mayo and Killarney.
Oh, yeah, true.
So, like, you can't say they haven't been...
Here we go. Here we go. Oh, no. Good defending there that time.
For once. No, but to be fair, Tyrone did well in the first half defensively, but they've been all over the place in the second half. All over the place.
Over another one there.
To be fair, Brosnan's done well since he's come on, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. And I feel like, look, if there's one thing that this has shown, it's what a good job Paddy Tally has done.
Yeah. Kerry have really...
Sean O'Donnell is in for Matty Donnelly. I have a genuine question now. Could that be the end of Brian Dooher and Fergal Logan?
Yes. Straight away.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah. No,
they were shite last year, and they have been poor this year.
Yeah.
And what I will say, won 3 championship games in 2 years.
Yeah. And Kevin McGorty from the JMAC podcast actually made a very good point as well. He said it after the Westmeath game that they're a busted flush, the two of them, and yeah, it's Mike Green's coming on over Kerry, but and Jason Foley, deserved a round of applause. Brilliant performance.
Fantastic performance. I think genuinely man of the match contender right there.
Yeah. I think Jason Foley, Adrian Spillane, to be fair to him, and those were 2
Sean
players.
O'Shea will probably get it.
Yeah.
Possibly. Goal and 3, goal and 4 from him.
Yeah. But But what was good about Tyrone, like the first half, I thought they were very good defensively. The second half, they've been very, very poor. It's been just so off color.
Yellow for Paulie Clifford. I mean,
It was
he's
coming.
being a bit silly there, Paulie. Like you don't need to pick up cards now.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a day of days for Kerry. I mean, because whenever they've beaten Tyrone in the past, they've never beaten them like this. Like they beat them comfortably in Killarney in 2012, but this is like that was a game where Kerry probably were all around expected to win. This one was very much 50-50 going in. Who thought who was going to win?
Yeah.
And they've wiped the floor with them in the second half in particular.
But you have to applaud Kerry, where your rivals or not, they've done brilliant today.
Yeah. I wonder now, will the Armagh Monaghan game make up for this?
Yeah, I hope it does, Seamus, because this has been, died in the second half. Really has.
Owen says, I think this will benefit Kerry massively, as Clifford basically wasn't on the pitch today and they had to find other ways to score. We're far too over-reliant on him last year. Yeah, absolutely right. He was absolutely the one leading the charge last year. And the fact that he had such an off day and they've still blown Tyrone away is hugely positive. But so many players for Tyrone haven't turned up today. So many lads haven't turned up. I thought actually midfield-wise, they actually haven't been anywhere near as dominant as I thought they would be. Derek Hannigan has got one shot at the post in the entire game.
He's got two.
Has Darren McCurry scored from play? He has a free here.
He hasn't scored from play, no. Their highest score from play.
That's what I mean. Like, how many players haven't played well today? McCurry's just slotted a free, but it's like,
yeah. I think they've been really, really off color, I have to say. Like I was saying to Aaron during the week on my podcast, like Tyrone have loads of players to step up, and probably more than Kerry's defence. But it's been the complete opposite. The Kerry defence has stood up, and the Tyrone attackers haven't. Like Darren McCurry hasn't
just been taken off.
Aidan Clark on for Hamsey. Yeah. Poor the second half, really.
He was fantastic in the first.
Yeah.
I can't believe, I'm genuinely a bit in disbelief. Like when you watch the two teams going down the tunnel at half time.
Yeah.
You're there you're there like, okay, they're going to come out swinging in the second half. And they come out and they just get ran over. McCurry's after hitting Graham O'Sullivan. I think that we could be seeing a red card here.
Seen this challenge now.
Yeah, I think he's going to go.
Oh, yeah, I've seen.
Yeah. Wait, let's see.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think he's gone. I mean, for people saying, oh, I like a red card, but you can't swing at someone and then silly.
Really is, yeah.
Silly. And like, look, I genuinely think that's partly because they're getting absolutely slapped up that he didn't get sent off there.
He didn't get sent off?
He didn't. No.
Oh, that's a bit hard.
What?
Yeah. He didn't get sent off. I was genuinely surprised by that.
Yeah. Derek Hannigan's just slotted one over for Tyrone. What do you think about that, actually, Matthew? Like, that you could argue that definitely could have been a red card. He didn't get it. Like, do you think that there's ever a situation where the ref kind of should bend the rules a bit, like considering the context of the game, etc.?
The thing, yeah. Like, it's an interesting one, because actually Brendan Cawley's probably been one, and Dermot O'Connor's got the man of the match, actually, the midfielder for Kerry. But,
yeah, he was very good.
But like Brendan Cawley has done well in the championship, and I think he's been ref for a year in many ways. I think he's had a very, very good year in fairness to him. But then again, Seamus doesn't really matter this decision. I think it was a red card, but no.
Doesn't matter, yeah.
That's the thing. But
it's the type of thing that I remember there's a few games in Leinster Championship where I remember like Dublin would be 15 points up against somebody and the ref would give a second yellow card to someone on the losing team and you'd be like, oh, will you give over, will you? Like that type of thing. Another goal. Oh, over the bar. Really should have scored a goal there, Jimmy O'Connor, but this is an absolute washout now at this stage. Kerry are doing whatever they like.
It's Dermot O'Connor again. Yeah, deserved man of the match. He got one. That's 1-2 from now.
Oh, the goal, that he got as well. That was game, set, match when he got that.
And what we did say at the start, Seamus, was Brian Kennedy and Con Kilpatrick left Kerry's number, but Dermot O'Connor stood up well today.
Dermot O'Connor's had Con Kilpatrick's number.
Yeah.
And to be fair as well, look, I based a lot of it, like the Donegal game, but apart from that, I based a lot of my prediction on what they've done in the past.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah.
Shot for goal there, Shane Ryan, straight at him. But in the past, like Tyrone have made it through and then they've come to life at this stage. But when you look back, Westmeath should have knocked them out of the championship. Like that's just facts.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I thought they would turn up more than this. I thought they would turn up more than this.
I did as well. And what I will say about Kerry, they were very poor against Cork. Probably should have lost that game. They lost against Mayo with being outplayed, and they've so a lot of critics. I have to say,
big time. You know? And I like. The weirdest thing is that I tipped Tyrone to beat Kerry in this game, but I tipped Kerry at the very beginning of the year. I tipped Kerry to win the All Ireland.
Yeah, so, you did.
So kind of, I was like going into it thinking, bit of a win-win.
And that's another free in. No, this game has died, and I hope to God, no Seamus, that we won't get a repeat.
Monaghan and Armagh will bring it. Armagh don't do straightforward, so they'll bring it. And Monaghan are an attacking side. They have actually switched up their style under Vinnie Corey.
Yeah, I remember the last game between those two sides. Actually, remember that it was 221 to 417. I think it was.
Yeah,
in the Ulster Championship. Superb. So yeah,
Shawnee's going for this off the ground. 65,000 people in Croke Park today. 82,300 people in Croke Park tomorrow. Good weekend for the GA. Shawnee's nailed the free 218 to 12 points. Matthew, 12 free kick to save your life. Who takes it?
Dean Rock.
Interesting choice. Of all time, like. Personally, I'd say I always loved Maurice Fitzgerald on frees.
I was going to say Brian Sheehan, actually.
Brian Sheehan was a cracking free taker, though. Yeah. I remember he got one where it was so far out. I think it was like a record.
Definitely, yeah. So
I'd probably I think Sean O'Shea is a good shout as well. Probably say Maurice Fitz if you were to push me on it.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of it.
Going for Tyrone, fouled, free in. It really has died a death, hasn't it? Like you can tell the atmosphere around the crowd. Like McShane's taking it short. Trying to work a goal. Oh, that sums it up, doesn't it?
Just getting on to it now. We'll see what happens. Oh my gosh.
That sums it up. Just to clarify for anybody who can't see the game, Tyrone got a 21-yard free. They took it short to try and work a goal chance. McCurry hit a shimmy and then blasted it wide.
You could see Brian Doer's reaction.
Yeah. He's like, yellow for Derek Hannigan and Thomas Sullivan.
Where has it gone wrong? Oh, someone's getting a talking to now.
Yeah, yellows all around.
Thomas Sullivan and Derek Hannigan.
I tell you what, this is a statement from Kerry.
Yeah. Well, I would say, Seamus, 11 yellow cards between both sides today. At least we got that.
So, yeah. You could have predicted the game, the cards of the weekend.
Yeah. We will keep a track of them, obviously, but that's 11 yellow cards in this game. Will it be beaten with a red in the other 3 games?
Oh, red.
For Tyrone?
For both. Paddy Clifford, second yellow card. Conor Myler, second yellow card. Paddy was stupid there. Why would you get involved when the game is over?
But he's not going to get suspended, Seamus, so he's fine.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a straight red for a second.
It's a second yellow, so he won't.
Oh, well, then it doesn't really matter. But I thought it was a straight red at the start. I was like, why would you risk getting suspended at this stage? I tell you what, this is a statement, like.
Yeah.
Just to make everybody else sit up and take notice. I don't think any of the other games will be as one-sided as this. Oh my God. Great save, Morgan. David Clifford with a goal chance. Well saved, Morgan. That's it. It's going to be game over now after this kick from Shawnee. Last minute 45. So, guys, before we do obviously wrap up the live stream after this free by Shawnee O'Shea, if anybody has any more comments they want to throw in on how they saw the game, how they thought the game went, etc., where do you think it went wrong for Tyrone?
I
mean, where do you even unpack that? Where do you even start to unpack that?
I don't know where it went wrong. It was just they weren't up for it in the second half. They seemed to be up for it at the start. Remember at half time, we were rubbing our hands, thinking we were going to be in for
we were going to be in for a battle. Shawnee O'Shea. Wide. Doesn't matter. Full time at Croke Park. Kerry have absolutely blitzed Tyrone. So, Matthew, quick match recap. So, full time at Croke Park, Kerry 2 goals and 18 points, Tyrone 12 points. An absolutely fantastic second half by Kerry, just completely putting Tyrone to bed.
Yeah, they have. And that's exactly what it was. At halftime, we were thinking, Tyrone, they're going to be up for this game in the second half. Even coming out the second half, they look bullish. We said at the start of the stream in the second half that they look bullish coming out, and we were expecting a battle. But then, I don't know what happened to Tyrone. They capitulated. Simply capitulated. Fair play to Kerry. I think they did their job in the second half. Dermot O'Connor was excellent in midfield, quietening down Brian Kennedy and Con Kilpatrick. In general, I thought David Clifford had his off day, but still other players performed. Adrian Spillane was superb. Jason Foley was my man of the match. Personally, I thought he was, with all the criticism pointed towards his way during the week, he puts up that performance, and he was superb, I have to say, for Jason Foley standards. But I will say for Tyrone, Seamus, that was, particularly in the second half, a disgraceful performance. And if I was a Tyrone fan, I would be boiling, my blood would be boiling right now. Because even look at the second goal, it's unforgivable, you know. For a team coming up against Kerry, the All-Ireland champions, and you give them that much space for Tony Roslin to play the ball into Sean O'Shea. And it was an easy finish for Sean O'Shea in the end for the second goal. So, no, Tyrone, embarrassing performance, that's all I can say about them. But Kerry will march on, and David Clifford didn't play his best today either, so Kerry are a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, without doubt. I mean, it was a case of at halftime, like there was the near scuffle going off the into the side tunnel where you were having flashbacks to, you know, the Armagh Galway going down the same tunnel last year. And then just coming out in the second half, Tyrone looked like they were ready for war. And then Kerry pinched off 2 quick points at the start of the second half from freeze. All of a sudden, they're 5 points up. And they just put them to the sword from there. Dermot O'Connor's goal, fantastic finish from him. Then, of course, you had the next goal, as you said rightfully, like the amount of space that they left for Kerry's forwards to run into, well finished off by Sean O'Shea. Just Tyrone never got going in the second half. That's just the only way to put it. They just never got going in the second half. Kerry, worthy winners. Fantastic performance. And they've made the whole country sit up and take notice after that.
They have done, yeah. And especially after their performances in the group against Mayo and Cork, they've definitely silenced a lot of haters in this. And they've done it with a plan today, in fairness. And they're getting applauded off the field right now. And rightly so. They've done their fans proud today. They're getting to a semi-final, and now it's opened up for them because Mayo or Dublin, one of them is going to go out tomorrow, and you don't expect either Derry, Cork, Armagh, or Monaghan to win Ireland. So
no, I think that's a warning shot. Kerry are going to take some beating after that performance. Absolutely outstanding performance by the All-Ireland champions. They are into the All-Ireland semi-finals. Who will join them? Check out the other action across the weekend, guys, here on Cluiche, and do enjoy the other games. But until the next one, guys, thank you for joining us on this live stream. Until the next one, take care.